Let that sink in for a second. What if I told you the biggest risk to your wealth isn't a stock market crash, but actually the very game you're choosing to play? Today, we're going to completely flip the script on how you think about investing. We're going to stop talking about just picking the right stocks and start focusing on picking the right game.
You see, here's the thing. The number one mistake most of us make isn't buying a bad stock here or there. No, it's playing a game that's completely wrong for our goals, for our money, and for where we are in life.
We spend so much energy, right, hunting for the next big thing, that multi-bagger. But how often do we actually stop and ask a much, much bigger question? Am I even sitting at the right table?
So, to answer that, let me paint you a picture. I want you to imagine the entire world of investing, not as one big stock market, but as a huge, bustling room filled with different games. Let's call it the wealth game room.
Inside this room, there are all these different tables, and each table is its own game, with its own unique set of rules, its own buy-in, and its own kind of players.
And remember this. This is so important. Your job isn't to be a master of every single game in this room. That's impossible. Your job is just to find the one table, the one game that is perfect for you.
Okay, so let's take a walk. Let's do a quick tour of this wealth game room. I'm going to introduce you to the main tables, and you can see which one feels like your kind of game. All right, our first stop is a pretty familiar one. We're going to call this table the Marathon board game. This game isn't about being a genius or making flashy moves. Nope, it's all about patience. Pure, simple endurance.
The rules here are incredibly simple. The longer you stay in the game, the better your outcome. This is basically the mutual fund strategy. It is without a doubt the best game to start when you're young, because time is your secret weapon. Consistency is what wins here, not moments of brilliance.
And you know what the best part is? The price to play is super low. You can pull up a chair with just 5,000 rupees a month, which is probably less than you spend on eating out. This table is literally designed for you to join right from your very first paycheck.
Okay, let's move to the next table. And you can feel the atmosphere change, can't you? This is not a casual board game anymore. This is high-stakes chess, a game where real skill gets rewarded, but believe me, mistakes get punished.
In the real world, this is what we call Portfolio Management Services, or PMS. Instead of spreading your money across hundreds of stocks, you're playing with just a few carefully chosen pieces, maybe 30 to 40. The outcome really depends on your skill, and because your bets are so concentrated, the ups and downs, they're much, much bigger.
So let's just pause and put these two tables side by side. The Marathon game, it's all about being diversified and consistent, absolutely perfect for beginners. High-stakes chess, well, that's concentrated, it's skill-based, and it's for experienced investors with more money and a bigger appetite for risk. They are just two totally different games for two totally different players.
All right, now we're heading to a more exclusive part of the room. This isn't a table out on the main floor. No, this is the private, invite-only poker room. And the stakes in here, they are on a whole other level. This is the world of alternate investment funds, or AIFs. The players at this table, they get access to things most people can't even see. We're talking deals in companies before they go public. The potential upside is just huge, but this game is absolutely for seasoned players who can afford to lose the hand.
And I mean that. The buy-in to even get a seat at this poker table is significant. We're talking a minimum of 1 crore rupees. That high barrier to entry is a pretty clear sign that this game is only for a very, very specific type of investor.
Okay, for our last table, let's look at something completely different. I want you to think of this one as a global strategy game. The main goal here isn't just to win big, but to make sure that one bad roll of the dice in one country can't wipe you off the map.
And notice how the whole point of the game has shifted here. This one's less about aggressive growth and much more about smart preservation. It's a defensive strategy. It's about building a shield for your wealth by spreading it all across the globe.
So, we've done our tour of the room. We've seen 4 very different tables, each with its own game. And all of this brings us to the single most important rule in this entire wealth game room.
And here it is, the golden rule. Don't look over at the high-stakes poker room with envy if you're just starting out. And don't stay at the beginner's board game if you're ready for chess. You have to play the game that is designed for your stage in life right now.
So after all this, the whole thing really boils down to just one question that you need to ask yourself. Take a good, honest look at your own situation, your money, your goals, your stomach for risk, and then answer this. Which table should you be sitting at?